The beavers have discovered electric power. Let's continue our Timberborn gameplay. All right, fun little bit is that the beavers can swim just fine. So we've just gotten stairs down into the river to be able to get across and take down this pine forest. Continue the deforestation efforts. Prime beaver activity here. But we have a lot that we want to get building, and we have a long time until these maples finally grow up. Okay, here's the plan for moving forward. We are going to build all the way up to here, be able to access these higher tiers, but then we're going to cut across to get out over this position, and we're going to build a dam over here that will create a larger reservoir all the way through this. Basically, we want to fill to the top riverbank and higher if possible. But our options for being able to do so are here with the landscaping. We can get the triple flood gate, requiring lumber and planks. 500 science points to unlock. We're very close to being able to get that. Once we get that, we can just lay these across and then hopefully be able to control the flow of the water so that when we're outside of drought, we can build up the reservoir, and then even during the drought, be able to periodically lower the gates to keep on letting the river flow through our smaller portion of the river bend that comes by our beautiful beaver town. It is going to be quite the maze of little paths and stairs to get out here, but we've done it. And we'll tuck a stairway over here. I guess I tuck a stairway right here, and then another one right here. Yep, that's the play. And then we just build paths down here, actually in the river, like so. That will let us get down to where we want to be building these floodgates. Oh, so close, so close. Unlocked. Beautiful stuff. There it is, the triple floodgate. It's going to be pretty impressive once we finish it. Hopefully this reservoir will ultimately hold enough. We might actually make like an offshoot, or eventually you get dynamite, and so you can just terraform at will. And if we can build this out to be a larger reservoir, that'll end up helping us for the longer and longer droughts. I'm wondering if cutting through this and extending this as a little pond is actually worth it. But that is still a ways away. We would need to be able to refine wood into paper, and then also get, I think there's a specific, yeah, here it is, explosives factory. Here we go, this is our next big step. 99% reforestation efforts are complete. We now have an unlimited supply of lumber. Oh, look at this. We're finally filling in the gap. The river's actually risen pretty significantly over here, so it's now over what had been exposed land, and it's now starting to irrigate this entire top portion. It's pretty fun to see. How the water got over here, not sure. Don't ask me that one. Now I wonder if building the diagonal is okay in this game, or if they're gonna want me to fill in. It's not gonna be too expensive if we do have to fill it in, but it'd be nice if we could keep it just with these 4. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's the big step. Building up our reservoir. Now, of course, to have full control, we're going to have to, yes. I mean, it looks like it's spilling out between, but that could just be because it has risen to the level that the floodgates are set at. Oh my gosh, why is it flooding? Why is it flooding? Okay, there it went back. What is happening? What is happening? Did anything else flood? No? Okay. More flooding. Why? Why are you doing this? And back again. Inexplicable. Okay, we do want to build a levee. This is just like a wooden block So it'll allow us to just kind of rebuild areas, fill them in where we want to without paying extra to put in a floodgate. So I kind of just want to fill this portion in. Yeah, that's the play. Oh, excellent. A drought in 3 days. As long as we're able to complete what we have set out to build here, we'll be able to test how well our reservoir can help stock us up during the coming droughts. So this one is closed. Here we're just waiting for one more plank. One more crucial plank. There we go. And we've done it. Full control over the river back here. So, am I gonna regret this? What happens if I go up to 3 and like basically stop off the flow? It still just cuts through. Okay, well, I mean, I want them on the highest setting here. I feel like we might be losing water because of how we set it up with the diagonal. Oh, this one's at 3. This one's only at 2.5. Oh, they don't all change. Okay, so now this is the only one at 2.5. Okay, so if we set them all to 3, they just don't sync up if they're on the diagonal, but they do seem to work. Okay. It will just kind of flood over here. That feels wasteful. 2.5. Oh no. 2.5. Okay. Honestly, it's inefficient, but it's convenient. So we're gonna get these other floodgates just so that they'll all change together. Because they have synchronized with adjacent floodgates. Diagonal's not considered adjacent in this game. Goodbye, berry bushes. You sustained us for the early months, but now you must leave. We have use for this space. And there's the drought conditions. Okay, so the drought has set in. The river level is dropping. This is where we test how solid. Yeah. So we were losing water from the diagonal here. Because you can see once we filled it in, it's not coming through here. It's still coming through here. And unfortunately, it's coming down through here now. But I don't want to patch that because that's where I have the stairs. Dang it. Bothers me. Okay. Well, I guess we have to go around then. And build stairs right here along with a path. Okay. Once we get to it, we'll destroy that, and then honestly, that means these levees were wasted. We need to just build them over here. Maybe they're not wasted. Because if I built them over here... oh well. What's done is done. And they're cheap. But yeah, our reservoir is slowly draining through this portion and this portion. But it's so slow that from our water pumps and from just the water loss for irrigating the area, we're not getting any flow out of the dam. All right, now to play around with this. So we drop it down to 2. We release the flood. Comes across, filling up. Does this actually push past? Hey, it does. Gives us a little bit more power going here. And then this finally exhausts. Stops flowing on that side. Go down to 1.5. It barely floods the banks. Now we have the water wheel going. Okay, so how long until we drain that portion of the reservoir? That lasts for quite a bit. Because it's still making its way out that we've lost this portion. Okay, well, we'll crank them back up. Oop, I didn't mean to go 3. 2.5. There we go. Be able to refill this reservoir when the drought ends right now. The future is here. We have the large water tank able to hold 300 units of water. That is 100 times bigger than these water tanks, who will summarily be replaced. But the downside here is that we have to have 20 gears to be able to build this. So you can refine logs into planks, planks into gears, and we are just now starting to work on building up a stockpile of gears because it took us a very long time to be able to get even any planks going. But we have plenty of lumber right now, and so right now my ratio is 2 of the lumber mills making planks and then 1 gear workshop. We'll see how well that works. Now this also is requiring a fair bit of power, and so it's going to pull down the efficiency of this whole thing quite a bit, unless the water wheel is actually turning. Alright, I think it is time to plan out our next district. We have to figure out if we want to go up here for this portion of metal, or if we would like to go downriver this direction and grab this metal. We can divert the river flow a little bit if we would like to, have it kind of fork down here, and then this would still be would be fertile enough for whatever district we build down here to grow some food and also be able to pump in its own water rather than just having to bring it all from the home district. I actually like going up here better because that would also put us in range of potentially building up this reservoir even more. Like we could build a layer of levees here all along the outside. Or just expanding it, being able to reach up here and then use dynamite to, rather than have this kind of terraced look of the riverbed, it could just go straight down and then be able to hold a much larger volume of water for us. But then we're going to need probably all of these upgrades before we plan on heading out at all. So we have a hauler's post. We already had this for free. This is just to give you more workers to keep on moving goods around in your districts. You have a builder's hut. So right now you have just the central building is able to have 4 of these builders/haulers, and then you also get the distribution post. So this is where you can send resources from one district to another, and the drop-off point, which has to be built on the other side that can receive resources from other districts. And we're going to need all of that to be able to kickstart what we build out here, being able to give them food and water until they can get things set up on their own. I feel like grabbing the windmill to connect down here could also be beneficial, because if there's a drought, which this drought is going to extend for 12.5 days, then we're kind of out of luck. We're running this at, 45% efficiency, so we're at half speed for making planks and gears. Could be much better, so I think that we do. We'll flip it, get this windmill. I don't know if it really has space to be able to kind of provide more stop-offs. Like if we're actually going to be able to fit several next to each other, we might be able to. No, that conflicts, okay. But I could build here. Okay, we'll build here for now, and then leave it open for maybe another windmill down here. Top priority. Hey, there's the windmill working, generating 80 horsepower. I think it has a cap. It has a cap that's higher than that, but it depends on wind direction and wind speed. A very nuanced critique of wind power as a green energy source. I suppose as opposed to hydroelectric power, which is equally inconsistent when you have droughts as long as they do here. Ooh, and this drought gone on long enough that it claimed all of our reserve here, and this is why we wanted to build up this area so we can keep our crops going and our water pumping and not just rely on water reserves. But we're gonna have to be careful here. I wasted a little bit out of the floodgates earlier. Hopefully that doesn't bite us. We should have plenty still to be able to drop off here. And we have to survive for 4 more days. Ugh. The drought has finally passed. We actually completely depleted our reservoir up here, so we are definitely going to need to get dynamite to be able to terraform and survive the coming droughts that are going to be longer than that one. Ooh, it's going to be ramping up very quickly here. And I'm worried. Very worried. We need to be able to store a lot more water when the rains come, and trying to figure out the best way that we'll be able to do that. Right now, though, we're stockpiling a lot of planks. We've been able to work through kind of our backlog of construction projects here. So we have the builder's hut, we also have the trading post, and our housing development. Yeah, it's kind of gone crazy here. But the plan is that it's going to get even crazier. We got these more efficient lodges. They just get built in a little bit of a strange configuration because you have to access them by being on the second story. So this is going to turn into a mess very quickly, I feel like. Who can be sad with that cheery musical score, though? Sense of adventure and improvement. Oh my gosh. Total flood. Total flood. What? What is happening? Why is it this bad? It apparently does not regulate well, but at least it only happened a little bit. So we need to start thinking of all this water moving off the map as being wasted. We need to be storing this for the dry times. And so I'm envisioning also trying to build a reservoir back here. Not sure exactly what that's going to look like. I mean, I suppose it's being able to get actually to this farthest reach of the map and then build up and fill this portion of the riverbanks, but also kind of block it off from us. Yeah, it's hard because the river doesn't get that much lower down here. It's really just like one level. Oops, let the drought get away from me there for a little bit. Want to make sure that we are still running the floodgates to keep this area irrigated. I want to maybe consider adding in some wheat mills to diversify the diet because our food is really in a pinch right now. We need to be gathering a lot more to keep our guys alive. And we do have, we have harvests over here that are going to be ready. It's going to be kind of tight. I want to add more power to this building. And what I wanted to happen is when I built a windmill on top of it, that the windmill could just automatically supply power, but nope. Power only comes out from this drive shaft, and that drive shaft is no way it can go just straight down. No way at all. So now, I have to decide if I want to destroy this and like rebuild it, running into a wall here, or go through some kind of corkscrew play to get it built down and then piped into the side of the building. Oh well. Testing this stuff out is part of the fun, I guess. Okay, the timing for getting everything to come together here is kind of crazy. So we are building the 2 flour mills. They require a bunch of gears. So we need the gears to be machined in time. Then we have the wheat harvest, which wheat grows in how many days? It takes a full 10 days. That is a slow crop. Slow crop. I don't know if that's going to be the savior of our colony or not now. And then we need to have the power supply, which I think looks good. These windmills actually worked out really well, placing them in this orientation. But then we also need to unlock the science points to be able to get the bakery. But looking at a 10-day growing time for the wheat crop, it should be plenty. We'll see how many of our poor beaver citizens die of starvation in the meantime. Was not keeping up with food production compared to our growing population. We're up to 66 pop. Even the farmers are starving. Now that is a bad sign. With a bountiful harvest of wheat just coming in right here, our food troubles should be at an end. And then I think it's time to begin planning out our expansion into our next district, being able to grab iron and also more control over our reservoir. It can then lead to finally being able to get dynamite and true terraforming capabilities, but that is going to be our next episode. Stay tuned for that. Really excited for what is to come. Let me know in the comments what else you think that we should try to develop here in Riverdale, and how much effort we should just focus on to moving into the next district. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more from me. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.